Hello everyone, welcome to CIT 1503, Microcomputer Applications for the Web. This course is an online course, and the purpose of this video is to give you a quick overview of the modules that will be included in this course and with the Microsoft Office 365 2019 software application. The purpose of understanding, obviously learning how to deal with Microsoft products is, number one, Microsoft is essentially ubiquitous in the practitioner world. Everybody uses it. They understand the value of the software, and what this course can give you is adequate skill to be able to go into an organization if you're not in one already, or if you're in one, to be able to escalate the number of things that you're able to do based on what you want to discover in this class. So it's really about learning some new functions, learning really how to manipulate worksheets, how to deal with numbers, how to deal in terms of writing documents, and understanding really what's at the core of e-commerce, which is what we're dealing with today, such as Amazon, to understand how they do things, and that really comes in the form of Access. So Microsoft Access database, which we'll learn in this class as well. So really this class is composed of Microsoft Word, Excel, and Access. It is the latest version of the product, 2019, so you're on the leading edge of what's out there. And remember also that Microsoft is a dominant software application. However, you have things like Google, where they have their particular set of spreadsheet software and other things. But this is pretty much the predominant software. So let me take you on just a quick tour. On your screen is my Firefox browser, and I have Blackboard running. So if you want to follow along, you can bring up your Blackboard. What I've done is notice on the left-hand side you have your navigation bar, which everyone's familiar with, and on the right side is where you have your content. So notice that I've already selected learning units, so I'm going to start with learning units. Here we have a couple of items. You'll see a plagiarism statement, you'll see an overview video, which really is this video, and then you'll see some additional boxes. So if you scroll down, notice that there's one that says Cengage information. This shows you how to register your MindTap product, the one you purchased from Cengage or from the bookstore. So take a look at that and step through and register yourself for the class. Let's try to do this before the first day of class, that way we don't have any delays. The second one, actually the bottom three, show you the content that we're covering, which is Word, Excel, Access. Now we're going to cover 4 modules in Word, and if you go ahead and click the Microsoft Word hypertext, you'll notice that when you do that, the screen gives you 3 segments. It keeps the Blackboard navigation bar, it gives you a table of contents, and then it gives you on the far right the contents, the actual content information. Remember in this screen that if you place your mouse over the far side of the navigation window, notice that you can collapse it. And on your table of contents, you have 3 little icons here. One looks like a vertical bar and a square and then an arrow. If you click the bar, it also collapses the table of contents, so it makes things a little easier to navigate. If you want to expand it, then you click this one up here, which is the bar. And then if you want to click and see your Blackboard navigation bar, then you come down here with your mouse somewhere and see when it starts to change. Now you can see the course menu and everything shifts back. Okay, so going through the Word, notice that you have 4 modules. You'll have an exam down here, so for every Office product you will have an exam that'll be due. So if you take a look at the organization, we have modules 1 through 4. You have a title for each. Now if we click on module 1, you'll have an overview of the objectives. You'll have a video with me explaining what this module contains. You'll have a segment where you can get the PowerPoint slides for it, and you can have activities. Now if we go into activities, this is where Blackboard is linked to Cengage's online product. Cengage is a software company that gives us access to all of the products the office product exercises, in essence, the homework that you're going to be doing throughout the 7 weeks. Okay, so here you see 2. Now, anytime you see this little blue circle with squares, this is the Cengage product. So, for example, we have Word Module 1, SAM Project A, and Word Module 1, SAM Project B. So there's going to be an A and a B for each one of the modules for Word, Excel, and Access. So there's going to be at least 2 per module. If you click on this, for example, if I click on this, it's going to go and pull up the Cengage. Notice up here in your address bar it says gatewayscengage.com. That means that Blackboard is now calling to the Cengage site to say, all right, I need to do project A on module 1. So it loads the product, and then it loads the actual assignment. So you see here, it gives you what the project is, what the assignment is, how many submissions you have. By the way, each homework gives you 3 submissions only, and then you just start and go through it. Okay, so that takes care of that. I'm going to close that, and you have a couple of course introductions and a few other objects here in your content. So I'm going to go, if you will, notice here in the table of contents, I want to go to the top here. So I'm going to click on Module 1, and really probably more appropriately, I want to click on Learning Units. So if you take your cursor and click here in the white area where it says Learning Units, if you click that, it takes you where we started. Every one of the modules are oriented this way. Now, one exception will be if I click on Excel, we have the modules. Okay. I also want to click on Module 1 in Excel. It looks just like the same as every other one, but notice there's another object down here called Additional Documents. This is an area that, of course, right now it has an old file in here, but what I typically do is that whenever we have questions, when you send questions to me and say, hey, I don't understand relative references, or how do I do a mixed reference, or what's a table reference, then what I do is I create the video, and then I start to populate this area with the questions. So while I can't kind of target what issues you'll have, what I'll do is that depending upon what questions I will get asked, I will create the necessary video to sort of explain how, for example, relative references work. So I can customize that based on what your questions may be. So I wanted to make sure you're aware of this extra box down here that says additional documents or videos, so I try to populate that as much as possible. Okay, so if we go back to Learning Units, notice we have Word, Excel, and Access. Okay, so this is really, in summary, this is really the starting point in your class where you can access your PowerPoints, what the objectives of each one of the modules are, what the assignments are for each module, and that way it gives you hopefully a clear way of being able to navigate through this course. Make sure that you take a look at the syllabus, and also make sure you understand when the due dates are, when the start dates are for each one of the assignments, which I've annotated on very specifically in the syllabus. So I hope that helps you for now, and please look for more videos later. Thank you.